All right. All right, I'm going to relate to a movie. The movie is Alien, or Aliens, you know, the series, the movies, yeah. Well, particularly Aliens, the number 2. This is how you shake and bake a universe. Now, how do you know this? Well, the obvious answer would be that I'm God. The unobvious answer would be I'm the devil. And probably the most important thing to think about is I'm the God devil. Now, you could say that's strange, even more so, but whatever. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't make myself the God devil. The universe chose me out of its infinite I don't know, Maureen O'Hare and John Wayne were in a movie together, Chisholm, I think. Unprepossessing. That's what Chisholm's wife said. It's unprepossessing to suggest that you are both God and the devil. But that being said, that means unattractive. I always thought it meant pompous, but it's unattractive. Anyway, but this is your shake and bake universe. First of all, you gotta posit or theorize that there's something that exists. I mean, it has to be something. I call these objects elements. This woman, a crazy woman, she kept referring to Lester. I finally realized what she was talking about. She's talking about the linked elements. And so, time, space, goddamn everything. But Lester was just an acronym, meaning what I just said. I liked her, even though she was whacked out. God's sweet ass, though. I mean, if you like, you know, women with sweet asses. You know, real honey. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The elements are composed of 2 things, both of them spatial. One of them is a micro part at 10 to the minus 33rd centimeters. That's very, very small. The other part is the 10 to the 33rd centimeters, which is very large. So the little thing is in the big thing, but it's oriented in a certain way. Each element can be defined as that orientation. It's like your sexual orientation. I love to bring in sex whenever I can. But anyway, oh yeah, all right. But they're like an infinite number. Well, almost infinite number of these elements. And they're strewn throughout space. The space is like metaspace. It's space with nothing there. Literally nothing there. I mean, you could put all that space on the end of my little fucking finger on my left hand. You know, the tip of my fucking finger. That's all theology. Anyway, yeah, how many angels fit on the head of a pin? I mean, are angels corporeal or non-corporeal? Inquiring minds want to know. Anyway, that is the Space Needle. Nah, that's the Columbia Tower. And this is about 4:45 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Today is August 6th, 2017. Now, I invented the term 86 sometime ago. I can't remember. Oh, I remember when I was hanging out with Mrs. Wallace. Me and Mrs. Wallace were hanging out together. This was like around the turn of the century. Yeah, between the 1800s and the 1900s. She's a pretty cool lady. She married King Edward VIII. But anyway, so what happens is, at some point, something shakes. That's why I'm bringing up shake and bake. Something shakes loose, and the elements all line up. Wham! They line up, but they're not collapsed. They're just lined up. It's like a big circle jerk. Yeah, think of Boy Scouts. I don't know if Boy Scouts do circle jerks, but I've heard rumors. I've heard rumors that fraternity brothers do that too. Anyway, so we have an alignment, a perfect alignment. But each element is independent, but yet they all seem to be the same. So this creates a paradox. They can't all be the same, but yet different. Hence, creates a signal effect. The signal emanates through the ring of elements, percolating through each element, spinning each element a little bit, creating disalignment or perturbation. That's a good word, perturbation. That's a $10 word. If I had $10, I'd give it to you for knowing what the word perturbation means. Sounds like masturbation, don't it? Anyway, then we have development. We have evolution. You know, the universe begins to do things, but it spins in both directions. Remember, this is important. Time moves in both directions, but the primordial time, the time that counts, the time that where the first forms appeared. It's like in you know, Aristotle and Plato and all those motherfuckers. I shouldn't call them motherfuckers, but they were right. The forms, when they appear, then there is time, and the time is in fact real. Each time the signal percolates through the system, another moment exists. Each time the universe minutely evolves, and over really like trillions and trillions of years, it becomes substantial. That means there's development, there's organs, not organs, but stellar objects, stars, dust, even planets develop. But what happens is, there's also a phenomenon called a singularity. This is when everything collapses momentarily, like into a drop of water. Boom. It falls. Anyway, the singularity, also known as a black hole, sucks everything in. It sucks information in, it sucks everything in. When the development of black holes occur, there's of course, you know, everything is an opposite. There's the opposite version of the black hole, which I call QSO, quasi-stellar object. Quasi-stellar object is, in fact, a black hole going in reverse. So what happens is the universe develops, but at one point, there is developed what I call a micro-singularity and a corresponding micro-QSO. Two of these babies get together and they dance. They dance. They spin around each other like yin and yang. So what happens is they fall into a massive black hole. And they spin and they spin and they spin and they spin and they spin. But what happens is amazing. They create field lines. This is what, in terms of what Einstein was talking about, the general field theory. They emanate these field lines outside the black hole, a paradox. Anyway, these field lines branch out throughout the entire universe, the entire cosmos. And they suck in every little piece of data, every image of everything that ever existed at that moment in time, or that period, that epoch. Epoch is a good word too. Is drawn in. Now what happens then even gets weirder. The universe is truly weird. What happens is after enough information is accumulated and drawn into these yin and yang, these microcosm and micro QSO and micro singularity, the spin stops. It fractures. It blows up. Literally, the black hole explodes and disappears, which creates an incredible paradox because black holes aren't supposed to disappear, but this one does. And this one, my dear, creates the end of the universe. The universe itself is fractured. The fracture lines, like on my face, I got a lot of lines on my face because I'm old. How old am I? 6,660 years old, give or take a year. But what happens is the universe stops. It stops and it collapses, and all the fragments rush together, fall together. It's like The Man Who Fell to Earth. I always liked that book film. Anyway, then the universe stops and it's all crunched together. The big crunch occurs, as theorized in the Standard Model, I think. I get my physics mixed up sometimes. I don't know if it's a Standard Model or this some other model. But anyway, the cosmology is clear. The universe begins anew. The same process over and over and over and over and over, and each universe failing because of this fatal flaw. I like too many F's there, right? But anyway, but somebody somewhere decided that the universe became smart. It realized it kept falling apart. It says, oh my God, my dears, we're falling apart. Each time we fall apart, we gotta fix this. We need somebody to be our pilot. I became the pilot. That is, the universe, when it became smart enough, it chose me to be her pilot. And I am her pilot. Yeah. That is, the universe appointed me the deity, the god devil, the thing that makes it all happen. Now you can take that with a grain of salt. But if you do, you better make sure you have some water. Because it's all true. I lie not. But anyway, I gotta go. Oh, in terms of the astrophysics, don't worry about that. In terms of field lines, don't worry about that. What you gotta worry about is analysis. My analysis of the current strategic situation is that something's on the horizon and it's big. Big, big, big. And we may not survive it. I mean, these monkeys, you know. I hate to call you monkeys, but, you know, you is what you is. You're advanced primates, which is a monkey. Anyway, it's Operations Officer codename Windfall, also known as as Sari calls me, the Delta Drop. Ding, ding.